Lindsey Caldwell, and we are reporting to you live outside Bridgestone Arena. The Nashville Predators are making their mark. We just caught up with Dirk Bentley about his #1 single, Black, how he balances family life on the road, and his influence on Broadway. And we just talked to Lady A about their new album, Heartbreak. They took us inside the recording process and talked about how taking a break has given them respect for their own music. In this week's Trending with Lindsey, we're talking about the stars that have made a name for themselves online. Kane Brown began posting videos on Facebook of his country covers. In 2015, his cover of George Strait's Check Yes or No garnered over 7 million views. We're talking about the amazing tour opening announcements. Sam Hunt just announced on social media he's bringing quite the crew to heat up his summer tour. That's all this week on Trending with Lindsey. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to use hashtag Trending with Lindsey to tag us in content you want to see on next week's show. This is Lindsey Caldwell with Nashville Insider, and we're on the red carpet celebrating one of Nashville's biggest nights, honoring chart-topping country and Americana songwriters and artists at the CSAC Awards. And what's a memory that really has lasted with you from recording in the studio with all these guys?
I think probably the walk from the microphone to the control room after they had just cut the dance. Probably. Still kills me.
Can you just talk about your song, It Don't Hurt Like It Used to? Because it's an amazing song, and I'm curious kind of the story behind writing the song.
Bob Doyle gave me a publishing deal, and I used to sleep on the couch in the room that we wrote the song. Because back then there was no place to live, and they let me live there.
And you played Dolly Parton's mom in this film. What did you learn about Dolly's story that maybe you didn't know before by playing such a motherly role?
Getting to explore that story more in depth and in playing her mom, you know, you get to know a little bit more of what made Dolly who she is as a musician and who she is as a person.
Annual CMA Awards, and this award show is thick with history. Everyone from Dolly Parton to George Strait to Johnny and June have been honored on this stage tonight.
Nothing can top the pride that I have for him. He's living his dream, and just that's all a parent can ask for.
That's awesome. And Dustin, you're kind of getting a little teary-eyed.
That got me.
Dolly Parton here, and last night you were honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award, and I love what you said in your speech. Thank you to my fans for letting my little girl's dream come true. How was that moment for you? Kind of full circle?
It really was. It was just, it makes you feel really proud, like you might have done something right.
Speaking of touring, you just wrapped up with Luke Bryan. What have you learned from touring with Luke?
A lot.
Kind of take it back. We are at the 50th anniversary to 1991. When they called your name up on stage, you were actually in the hospital giving birth. What was that moment like?
I had just had my son, Bo Grayson.
What has Keith Urban taught you that maybe was surprising to you or you really didn't expect about the country industry?
Trust your instincts.
And last question, you posted it on Instagram, this photo.
Oh my gosh, I look so little.
Of 15-year-old Kelsey in the studio holding a Grammy. What would you tell 15-year-old Kelsey?
I wouldn't tell her anything because I would have freaked out if I would have known that this would be my life, and I'm glad I didn't know.
Thanks so much for watching E! News. I'm Jason Kennedy.
And I'm Lindsey Caldwell. Have a good night.